Hello there, friends. It's Jimmie Maverick. Hey, it's time to do another best ball draft, live draft. I am picking fourth in this one. Again, I can't seem to get myself a best ball draft where I pick late, but it still went very well. I very much like the team. I want to know what you guys think. So if you haven't done so already, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing these best ball drafts and other drafts during the course of the season. We want to help you guys out. We want to help you win your fantasy football league, win your best ball league. This is where you want to do it right now with me at the counselor. So thank you very much for watching. Let's get right to it and let's have some fun. All right, folks, how you doing? It's Jimmie Maverick. Hey, we are doing another best ball draft. We are under 2 weeks until the NFL draft, so that's going to firm up a lot of stuff regarding these rookies. Right now, you can still get rookies at really good prices on the draft board, but those are going to go up once the draft happens and we know where they're going. Once again, I'm picking early. I'm picking fourth overall, 12-team league. This is a half PPR best ball league. And for those of you that don't know best ball, it is basically, it's just a draft and forget. You just have your draft, and after that point, it will automatically start the highest scoring players in each starting category. You know, you've got your 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a flex, and it'll just put the highest scoring player in each of those slots for you automatically, so you don't have to set your lineup. You don't have to trade or go to the waiver wire. What you draft is what you get. So it's real important to go with reliable players, high reliability players. That's what you want. But consistency is not as important. You can have inconsistent players in best ball. They can be really good for your team because on the weeks when they have their gonzo weeks, when they have these huge point scores, you'll get the points. And on a game where they get forgotten about, they just sit on your bench, so that they can work. Okay, so we've got Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill came off. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take running back first. I'm going to take Breece Hall first. All right. And I've been taking a whole lot of Jamar Chase, and I love Jamar Chase. Love him. But we're going to see what kind of team we can build here by taking a running back first. Now, I am definitely going to have to go wide receiver on the next 2 rounds. And then we will, pivot back probably to an elite quarterback. I might be able to get Lamar at this point, Mahomes, both of those very high likely that they will make it to me for my 4th pick. And we'll kind of proceed from there. So we'll just see what happens on the draft board here. Let me bring up the draft board here as long as this is going so we can see what's happening. And there we are. Okay, great. So one of the things I want to tell you guys I'm doing right now, this is real exciting, man. I'm working on the 16 Rounds Plus app. Now, this is the app I work in conjunction with the counselor. All the counselor picks are going to be on there once that finally comes out. But the plus portion of the app is first of all, it's a live draft tool. It's designed to help you in a live draft. Right now, it's not ready to go yet. It's still under construction, so I don't have it out here to show you. But once I get it ready, I will be showing it during these drafts so you can see how it works. And it's a great tool. It's going to have a best ball mode, so a special draft list for best ball, because one of the things about best ball is they're what I call best ball players are all identified on the app. And these are players that I would never take in regular fantasy football, because they're too inconsistent, but they're great choices for best ball. So those are in there. We're also I'm going to add a super flex mode, a 2 quarterback mode. So you have that list as well, along with your PPR, half PPR, and standard points list. It's a great tool. It will really help you out during the fantasy football season. And you can order it now. It's only $24.95. It's a bargain. But like I said, right now it's under construction. It's not complete. Once we get it complete, it is going to be a fantastic tool for the upcoming year. Really help you out in these live drafts. So first round, here's what we got. We got 5 running backs, 7 wide receivers taken. This is very typical. This is what you see. Usually it's 8 wide receivers, but this is a very good beginning. The first round was Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. Then I took Breece Hall. Then Puka comes off. He comes off early. Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson comes off 7. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jahmyr Gibbs comes off at 10. I love Jahmyr Gibbs if you're picking late in the first round. A.J. Brown is 11th. Kieran Williams closed out the top 12. I don't really like Kieran that early. I don't really like Kieran this year. I just don't think he is going to be able to repeat what he did last year. He's not a big guy. Can he hold up for the whole season? It's just one of those things. I just don't have a lot of confidence in him. And again, in best ball, reliability is very important. Durability is super important. Kieran Williams hasn't yet had a durable season. I think he only played 10 games last year. So really hard for me to take him as a first or early second round pick. Okay, so it's coming back to us real quick here. And we've got, in the second round, we've got Saquon Barkley, Garrett Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, Devin Achane, Drake London comes off 17, Jonathan Taylor, 18. Let's see how these two picks go. And M5 Hardy is going to take his entire 30-second allotment. There's Devontae Adams. Let's go and let's see what we got, who's available here. So Harrison's still on the board. Nico not really interested, since they got Diggs there now. Look, Nico and Diggs are right there. You got DJ Moore. Deebo Samuel is a good choice, but I'm just not sure I want to take him as my one. But you know what? I'm going to take Chris Olave. I really like Olave. I like his upside this year. I think he's going to be better than he was last year. It's going to be a relatively quick turnaround for us here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause between rounds, so you don't have to hear me drone on about stuff, and we'll just go, till right before my pick. We'll see who's available. We'll take the best available, and we'll move on from there. Really makes the draft go quickly. It keeps it at a peppy pace. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. But like I said, working on 16 rounds plus. Just very excited about the opportunity for this year. I think it's going to be a great tool. It's really going to help you out. And things are changing. Things are changing in the NFL. There's all these new players. You got to learn about the players. What's their sort of upside? We're really doing deep dives on that. This is going to be a great year for wide receivers. I mean, everybody's talking about the guys that are going in the top 10. You got Marvin Harrison, Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors. Those guys, yeah, they're going to be great. They're going to be ones wherever they go. Unless Rome goes to Chicago, which I hate. That's the one pick I'm hating on a whole lot. I hope it doesn't happen. But, when you're talking second round, whoever Kansas City picks in the second round, I'm going to want to draft. Whoever Buffalo picks in the second round, I'm going to want to pick. I'm going to want a piece of. There's so many great opportunities for wide receivers. This is such a deep class. And there could be 20 wide receivers going in the first 3 rounds of the draft. They're just an unprecedented number. And, it's going to be great. It's like the 2014 class of receivers. Okay, so it's almost back to us. So Nico and Stephon still there. Malik Neighbors is there. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Diggs just went. Josh Jacobs is available. Josh Allen, Michael Pittman, DK Metcalf. You know what? I'm going to take Jacobs. I really like Jacobs this year. I think he's going to be great. So we're going a little bit against my normal strategy of going wide receiver early, but I grabbed myself 2 great running backs. So we'll see how that impacts me later. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pause. We're going to come back. I'm probably going to take a quarterback, get myself an elite quarterback on the next round, but we'll see what happens. So I'll be right back. All right, so let's see where we're at. Since the Josh Jacobs pick, then it was Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, Malik Neighbors. Josh Allen goes off at 32. He has dropped a little bit since Diggs left the team. Devonta Smith, Sam Laporta, DK Metcalf, Travis Etienne closed out the 3rd round. And then the 4th round began with Travis Kelce. Great value for Kelce. I love Kelce in the 4th. Cooper Kupp, James Cook, Jalen Hurts comes off. So that's our 2nd quarterback coming off the board. 4 picks to me. And again, I would like to be able to get either Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. We'll see if it happens. Rashee Rice comes off. I am shocked at how early Rice is still coming off the board, man. He's in a lot of trouble. He's got problems. Okay, I'm going to get one of my elite quarterbacks because look at that. Okay, great. This is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Lamar Jackson. Love Lamar Jackson. And again, I am big on getting myself an elite rushing quarterback or Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback, 1. And then we'll get 2 more during the course of this draft. But The third round is when I've been mostly getting my quarterbacks, but you can see here, there's good options in the fourth round. You can wait till the fourth round. There's still Mahomes, and I would be interested in CJ Stroud as well. I think Stroud is a fantastic choice. Stroud definitely has a 40 touchdown upside with the addition of Diggs. So I think that's great. They are definitely making a Super Bowl run. So I'm all for it. And I think that he is a viable elite quarterback option now with the addition of Diggs. So I'm very excited about Houston. I think they're going to do great this year. Can't wait to see what that team does. They were so much fun to watch last year, so that's great. So closing out the fourth round was T. Higgins, Trey McBride, Rome Odunze. Now it's 3 picks back to me. Patrick Mahomes comes off, okay? And really, Mahomes and Stroud are coming off like their ADP is right next to each other. I think Patrick Mahomes is 51, CJ Stroud's at 52, so Stroud might come off here before my next pick, which leads me to believe that it's a good idea that I did not wait till the fifth round to take my guy. But we'll see. We'll see if Stansbury takes his quarterback here. He's gone wide receiver the whole way so far. 4 wide receivers. Look at that. He took CJ Stroud. How about that? I called it. And you know what? I'm going to go for the stack with Zay Flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Zay. So I love that. That's fun. I don't really try hard to get stacks, but they do have benefits. I think Flowers is going to take a step up this year. I think he's going to continue to build on his rookie season. So I've got Chris Olave, Zay Flowers as my wide receiver 1-2. Lamar Jackson as my QB1. Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs as my running backs. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good start. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. But one of the big issues is, obviously, I haven't taken a lot of wide receivers, and it is going to thin out like crazy now. I still might be able to get someone decent in the 6th round, but that's going to be it for, wide receiver ones. And then it's really going to become much more difficult. We'll get a couple of rookies, we'll do that. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause. We'll come back when we're closer to the pick. We'll see what we're doing and where we're going to go from. All right, so it's almost back to us. Unfortunately, Kenneth Walker came up. I would have considered taking Kenneth Walker in the 6th if he made it to me. But you can see here, there's still great running backs you can get in the 5th and 6th round. Pacheco, Mixon, Walker, Montgomery, not so much. He went kind of early. He usually goes 7th round in these best ball drafts, but still pretty good. But we need wide receivers. We definitely need wide receivers. Hopefully this guy makes it to me. I hope that he does not take Brian Thomas because I would love to get him. I have heard talk that he is going to be the one that's going to go to Kansas City in the 1st round, which I would definitely take a chance on. He is the one, when it comes to rookie wide receivers, I don't like speed guys. Well, when it comes to receivers at all, I don't like the outside field stretching speed guy because they never get enough volume to be good for fantasy. Exception is Patrick Mahomes. And Brian Thomas has a talent level I think is equivalent to someone like Tyreek Hill. So I would absolutely be willing to take Brian Thomas here in the 6th round. So 7th round is coming around. There's still a couple of guys left that I like here. So if I can get one of these guys, I'll be real happy. Deontay's kind of like the last actual wide receiver 1 that's still on the board. So there's really all these other guys are 2s or 3s. So I would like to get Deontay if he can make it to me. I kind of want to take a chance on Jackson Smith and Jigba having a breakout year in year 2. That would be good too. Chris Godwin is a guy I've kind of been targeting just because I think that Mike Evans is going to regress this year as he's 31 years old. So I've got a couple of good options here. So we'll see who makes it to me. Oh, Kittle came off right at the end of the 6th round. That's a guy that I was hoping I might be able to get later, but it didn't happen. Okay, so these guys both made it to me. So either Deontay or Jackson Smith and Jigba. That is tough. This is a tough pick here. I think I got to take the 1. I got to take Deontay. Even though, Jackson Smith and Jigba it might possibly be the 3, it's really hard to say. I can get Tyler Lockett later. I do like Tyler Lockett as he's going in like the 9th round or something crazy late like that. So we boosted up our wide receiver core to 4 now. So that's pretty good. Olave, Flowers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Deontay. That's pretty good. Not as strong as I really like, but that's what I get for taking Brees instead of someone like Jamar Chase in the first round. So I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it. And this is a pretty good build. Plus, I got two great running backs. I'm really happy with the running backs, and Lamar Jackson stacked with Zay Flowers. Pretty good. So let's pause. We'll come back. We'll see where we're going and who we're going to take next. All right, so it's almost back to me here. So we've had a lot of running backs come off in the past round. Since Deontay Johnson, we got James Conner, Ramondre Stevens. Oh, it's my pick. Hold on one second here. Let me just figure this out. Again, this is kind of tough. All the running backs I wanted to target are gone now, so I could go with the rookie. But you know what? I'm going to continue to build the wide receivers as I do need better depth at wide receiver. I do like Tyler Lockett at this point in the draft. I think he's a great choice. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is we'll circle around and we're going to grab a tight end on the next pick. So since Deontay Johnson, we've got James Conner, Joe Burrow, Jackson Smith and Jigba, DeAndre Hopkins, Ramondre Stevenson, Brock Bowers, Dak Prescott, Raheem Mostert closed out the 7th round. Adonai Mitchell, the rookie wide receiver, opened the 8th round. Tony Pollard, Curtis Samuel, Jalen Warren, DeAndre Swift, Kyler Murray, Javonte Williams, Jake Ferguson. I was hoping that either Warren or Swift would make it to me. That didn't happen. I took Tyler Lockett. Then David Njoku comes off. That's a tight end I really wanted to get. Trey Benson comes off, of course, the two guys that I really wanted. So really, there's only one guy left that I still really want. That would be Dalton Schultz, who I've been taking a ton. I got so many shares of Dalton Schultz, it's ridiculous. But that I'm fine with it. I think he's going to be a great option, and I love Houston. So that'll give me my second Houston player, I do believe. Is that correct? Oh, no, I haven't taken any Houston players yet. All right, that's cool. All right. So let's just look at the board and see who's at the top. Again, Mike Williams, old and injury prone. I don't like that. Xavier Worthy is, again, one of those outside speed guys. He's going to get a lot of hype. He's going to get overdrafted, and he's not going to be worth anything for fantasy football. So avoiding him. Look, there's Brock Purdy, who would make a great QB2, but I'm not going to take a QB till the next round. I'm going to wait another round to grab my QB. But 9th round is where I like to take my tight end. Schultz is still there. Goddard is still there as well. So kind of a choice here. What do I want to do? Schultz got, they're very similar. You know what? I got a lot of shares of Schultz. So I'm going to grab Goddard here. And again, Goddard, not a great player for fantasy football, but again, I'm going to get 3 or 4 tight ends. So this guy's going to be kind of like my anchor tight end. And he does he's going to be on a good offense. It's going to be, Philly. I got no questions or qualms about that offense. So we will go ahead. We will pause here. We will see what happens. We'll come back for our next pick. All right. So you can see there's been a huge run on quarterback since my last pick, since Dallas Goedert, Brock Purdy, Tua, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, and Jared Goff have all come off. Still 3 picks to me. Dalton Schultz came off a little bit later in the 9th round. Also, Austin Eckler, Xavier Worthy closed out the 9th round, then the 10th round. Cortland Sutton, Romeo Doubs, Josh Downs, Jared Goff, Brian Robinson Jr., Devin Singletary, 2 picks to me. And this is where I like to get my QB2. And I've got a couple of good options. I got Kirk Cousins, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford. So obviously one of these guys is going to make it to me. I'm going to take him. And so I think I'll go with... I'll go with Cousins. I don't have stacks with anybody else here. So we'll just go ahead. We'll take Cousins as our 2. That's a super solid 2. And then we'll take one more quarterback, probably at around 15, 16, right in there, right in that range. So I definitely want to get myself another running back here. We've only taken 2 so far, I do believe, right? Yeah, I've totally ignored the running back position. So we need to go and move back in that direction. Luckily, this is a short turnaround, so hopefully these guys will make it back. Blake Corum, the rookie, Chuba Hubbard, who I very much like, Jalen Wright. I've taken lots of shares of Chuba so far. I think he's a great value where he's going in the draft. RB39, the guy was like RB27 last year, so he's really being undervalued, and I think Carolina will be better this year. Not necessarily a good team, but even if you're on a bad team, if you're a running back getting all the work like Chuba was, and I'm really not concerned about Miles Sanders. I think he's kind of done. He never was that good. I think, he can have a really good year and be a solid RB2. That's what you're looking for. So looks like we got a bunch of guys coming back here. I think I might take a chance on one of these rookies, though, because I really want to, again, if these rookie running backs go into the right position, and obviously the top 2 spots for these running backs are going to be the Chargers and and Cowboys. Whoever goes there, those guys are going to be RB1s. So I'm going to take Blake Corum here. He'll be my 3rd running back. I do want to take like 5 running backs. So we will continue to focus on the running back position here later in the draft. And we'll see what rookies are still available. So I'm going to pause. We'll come back for the next round of picks, see where we're at, and see who we want to take. All right, almost back to me. Some guys I really like have gone since my last pick, so we'll have to see where I'm at. And you notice I use the queue. I love to use the queue to kind of figure out who I want to target on these rounds. And so we got the rookie Keon Coleman, Jerome Ford, who played really good in place of Chubb. And Chubb obviously is a big red flag for me this year, coming back from that devastating knee injury, and he's 28 years old to boot. Jaleel McLaughlin, I kind of like his upside. Oh, look, Jerome Ford just got taken. Marshawn Lloyd, another rookie running back who definitely has potential. And we got more wide receivers here that I'm interested in. So I have 5 wide receivers, but only 3 running backs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Jahan Dotson. Hopefully we'll see an improvement there. What I'm seeing here at this point in the draft is you got wide receiver 2s on teams that are squeezing out the bottom. They're coming out behind all these rookies. And really these guys, guys like Tyler Lockett and Jahan Dotson, these guys have a real chance to really build with a better quarterback situation. It'll be a rookie, but it's a risky pick. I'm not sure I would ever take Jahan in regular fantasy football, but best ball, I think he's a good choice. And that gets me up to 6 wide receivers, which is pretty good. That's where I want to be. And then what I think I'll do is I'll grab one of these running backs on this next pick. There's Ty Chandler there too. Ty Chandler, don't really care for him. He's probably there. Who knows? Minnesota might draft a running back. Most definitely will draft a running back if that's their starter. But Marshawn Lloyd came off. Okay, well, we passed on him. But you can see other wide receiver 2s here. Michael Wilson, Darnell Mooney. These are guys that do have opportunities to grow in year 2. You got Xavier Legette, who's a rookie that I like. So I've got some decent options here. We'll just have to see who makes it to me. Oh, okay, here we go. We're back to me. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is, as far as the running backs go, I could take the rookie. I'll take Jaleel. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm sitting here right now, 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, and I think I got 6. I got 6 wide receivers now and 1 tight end. So we're just moving along. I'm going to pause. We'll come back within 3, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so it's almost back to me. It went very quickly. We got 4 more quarterbacks that have come off the board. A couple more tight ends. Cade Otton, a guy I like. And a guy I have not taken at all this year because he keeps getting taken before my pick. But I do have a bunch of guys listed here. Not really super interested. I mean, I guess I could go Braylon Allen here. I could take the rookie. That would finish out my running backs at least. But Ricky Pearsall is here. I kind of like him. This is a tough call. You know what? I'll take Braylon Allen. I'll take the rookie. Take the chance on him. So that gives me my 5th running back. So I'm pretty much done with running backs at this point. I might take one more later. And I think what I'm going to do is on the round, I'm going to take that would be my 7th wide receiver, which is also about what I like to target for wide receivers. So that puts me in a real good position for the rest of the draft. And again, guys like Zay Jones, Wan'Dale Robinson, these are guys I'm interested in at this point in the draft. Real good players to pick up at this point. Also, we've got some tight ends that I do like: Hunter Henry, Isaiah Likely, Jonnu Smith. If I skip on this next round, my next pick is at 189. Do I have a chance at any of these guys? No. Maybe Chig. I can get Chig as my tight end too. It's all right. I could really use a tight end too, though. I could take Hunter Henry here. Given that I'm already pretty much set with my wide receivers, I think I'm going to pass on them this round. And I think I got to go tight end. I got to take one of these tight ends. And I like Hunter Henry the best. So I think that's where I'm going to go. So let's see here. So I took Jaleel McLaughlin and Braylon Allen with my last two picks. We got Ricky Pearsall comes off, Antonio Gibson, Zay Jones. So again, Zay Jones, very much like that guy. That would have been a good pick there if I had taken him, but I'm fine not having done that. So I got two rookie running backs. It's not too bad. Two picks to me. We'll see what happens here. So on the 14th round, we had Michael Wilson, Ty Chandler, Darnell Mooney, Tyler Algier, Xavier Legette, Cade Otton, Adam Thielen, Geno Smith, Braylon Allen was me, Ricky Pearsall, Antonio Gibson, Zay Jones. Starting the 15th round, Demario Douglas, Roman Wilson. Two picks to me. Okay, he took Roshan Johnson. So I think I'm going to take my tight end two here. I like that combination. Hunter Henry and Dallas Goedert. That's a good 1-2 combination. I'm going to take one or two more tight ends before the end of the draft. And I think the next round is where I'm going to target, get myself my third quarterback. Good round to get him in is the 16th round. We'll come back. We'll see what it looks like and who we're going to get. All right, so there's been another run on quarterbacks. Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, J.J. McCarthy have all come off since my last pick. Unfortunately, most of those guys, the guys I targeted, I do have one left on my list, which is Russell Wilson. Hopefully he makes it to me. That would be good if he did. But you can see right after Hunter Henry, Wan'Dale Robinson, Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Polk, Malachi Corley, Rico Dowdle, Bryce Young, Khalil Herbert, and Isaiah Likely closed out the 15th round. 16th round, Audric Esteem, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Juwan Johnson, J.J. McCarthy, Jalen Hyatt. Alexander Madison came off. I was going to take him if he made it to me. Tyler Boyd comes off, comes to us. Okay, so I think right now, looking at this board, yeah, I got to take my QB3. I'm going to take Russell Wilson as my QB3, who I think is a great, solid choice. And if either Jonnu Smith or Chig Okonkwo make it back to me, I'll take them. But you can see I also have Jatavian Sanders, the rookie tight end. Zach Ertz also highlighted here. Zach Ertz does have durability issues, which is a problem, but I do like his upside in the Washington offense with the offensive coordinator who was his OC. Oh, it's Cliff Kingsbury. So the guy that really kind of revived Zach's career in Arizona is now the offensive coordinator there at Washington. So I really like Ertz because of that, because Ertz was really pretty solid. So after Russell Wilson, Keaton Mitchell, Ray Davis, Bucky Irving, three running backs came off. That closes out the 16th round. Noah Fant comes off, first pick of the 17th round. Rashad Bateman, one pick to me. Chig Okonkwo comes off. That's too bad. But Jonnu Smith is still there. So I think I am going to go ahead and take him. And that gives me a slice of the Miami offense, which I like. I think there's going to be some scoring opportunities there. And again, these kind of guys, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, these guys I would never, ever take in regular fantasy football when you have to actually set your lineups each week. But in best ball, these kind of tight ends, the ones that can have a big week, they hit pay dirt once or twice, they're great for fantasy football because they're going to give you that boost several times during the course of the season that your team needs to win their week and score more points. And that's what it's all about. In best ball, it's just about points scored. There's no playoffs or anything like that. It's just whoever scores the most points over 17 weeks wins the league. And so you want these high upside players that can get you those boom weeks and really propel your team into championship position. So I'm pretty happy with this team so far. This is pretty good. There's 3 picks to go. I want to get at least one more wide receiver, maybe two. Maybe I'll get another running back here. But we're all set on quarterbacks with Kirk Cousins, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson. Love that. I think we're done with running backs too. I mean, like I said, I might grab one more at the very end. But we've got Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, Blake Corum, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Braylon Allen. I'm probably going to take one more running back. And then for wide receivers, I really like the wide receivers, actually. Chris Olave, Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay Johnson, Jahan Dotson, and, that was it. That's the last one I took. Okay, so, yeah, I definitely need some wide receiver help. So we will pause. We'll come back, and we'll see where we're at. All right, almost back to me. So I see that Tyler Conklin came off in the last round, and one of the things that's making me sweat is the fact that they're talking about the Jets are going to take Brock Bowers, the elite tight end, top 10 in the NFL draft. That would just kill Tyler Conklin's value, and that's a shame because I've got a lot of shares of Tyler Conklin in the drafts I've done so far. There goes Zach Ertz at pick 209. That's pretty good too. Mike Gesicki also came off, tight end for Cincinnati. That's always a decent option, man. Cincinnati does tend to utilize their tight ends pretty well. Demarcus Robinson, Elijah Moore, Jermaine Burton, Tyler Conklin, Kendrick Bourne, Tucker Kraft, Ezekiel Elliott closes out the 17th round. Oh, it's my pick. Oh, Jatavian Sanders came off. That's too bad, man. I was hoping I would be able to get him. That didn't happen, but I see that Malik Washington is still there. You know what? I'm going to go with this rookie. I'm going to go for Malik Washington. So we'll go with that. 2 picks to go. Right now, I'm thinking I can get either Davis Allen or Donald Parham Jr. right at the end of the draft on my last pick. That would be a good last pick. So I could go for someone like Josh Reynolds. Again, this is a guy I would never pick for regular fantasy football. He's a burner. He's an outside field stretcher. But we're talking 19th round. I think he's a great choice. I think he can score some touchdowns. And last year he got 5. And that's pretty good. That's a good kind of player to have. Frank Gore Jr. and Brendan Rice are 2 guys I've been taking at the end of most of my drafts and one of my last picks. I like both of them. Cordarrelle is certainly in play now that he's at Pittsburgh. Again, with Arthur Smith, who will be very frustrating for Najee Harris and the other running back that's there whose name escapes me right now. Even though I like him, it should be a good situation. So after Malik Washington, Damian Pierce comes off, Trey Palmer, Theo Johnson comes off. That's a rookie tight end. That's very risky. I'm not sure why that guy came off so early. He's mostly undrafted. Will Shipley, Greg Dulcich, one more pick to me. Jalen McMillan comes off. All right, so let's go. I've only got 1 pick left after this. So I'm going to take a 4th tight end here. I'm going to take Donald Parham just because that receiving core is so depleted in Los Angeles. He's got to have a decent role. So what we'll do is we will just come back. I'll come back when the draft is done. I'll show you what my last pick was, and we'll review the team, see how we like it. All right, so let's review this team. So quarterbacks, I'm super happy. Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, that's perfect. And I always get 3. Anytime I've done best ball and only gotten 2 quarterbacks, I always regret it because it always happens during the course of the season that both are out. It sucks. You need 3. That's a great trio to have. So let's move on here. So running backs, obviously the top 2 are great. My Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, those are my top 2. Fantastic. I got 2 rookies, Blake Corum and Braylon Allen. I also got Jaleel McLaughlin. So it's a little weak. I could have taken a 6th running back, but if I was going to take one, it was probably going to be Alexander Mattison, and he got taken right before my pick. So that didn't happen, but I'm okay with it. I like the top 2. It's a solid core. And I think, if Blake Corum or Braylon Allen, if either one of them goes to the Chargers or Dallas, I'm golden. I mean, it'll be perfect. Wide receivers, I actually like this wide receiver core. It's very diverse, and it doesn't have the super high elite wide receiver 1 because obviously I took Breece Hall. But I'm very happy to roll with these guys. Chris Olave, Zay Flowers, of course, stacked with Lamar Jackson. Brian Thomas Jr., potential really great landing spot for him. Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson, Malik Washington, and Brendan Rice. That's the guy who I took in the 20th round. It's a legacy play. Jerry Rice's kid. We'll see what happens. Who knows? He could be great. I want to support him. And then I did take 4 tight ends in this draft. I took Dallas Goedert, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and Donald Parham Jr. Love the tight ends. I think this is a really solid core, and hopefully these guys will be able to contribute into the flex position during the course of the season where 2 guys have a good week, two in a row had. So pretty good overall. 27-43, not great for points, but I think that's just because these rookies, I don't think they have them scored out, and I got 6 of them, so that's probably a big reason why it's a little lower than expected. But I like this team. I think it's pretty good. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. I appreciate hearing from you. Have yourself a great day, and thanks for sticking around and watching the whole thing. I appreciate it.